Hi everyone, and welcome to my dream boat project. And today I am going to show you how I made a motor mount for my canoe. Yes, many of you know I have a 15-foot outrigger canoe, sailing canoe, and I wanted to have a motor because if I take this thing on the ocean, I want to make sure I can get back. And I need to mount it to my canoe. So I came up with a really cool adjustable motor mount. Why does it need to be adjustable? So I could bring it forward and backwards. When I have someone else in the canoe, I could sit back further. And when I'm alone, I need to sit a little more towards the middle of the canoe so the motor mount can adjust right behind me and move up as I do. So let me show you what it looks like, and then I'll show you the pieces to it. Here it is all hooked up now on my Eureka canoe. The motor is so heavy I had to hold that side of the canoe up with the paddle so it wouldn't flip over. So I'll get a little closer so you can see what's going on. You see how I connected it there? It's adjusted from, I got about maybe an inch play in the middle because it's not all the way far back. It's going underneath here, underneath there, and I tightened both of them down. That's pretty much it. You can't see this too much. Let me move that. That moves over a little bit. There we go. So you can see exactly how it looks once it's all put together. And over here, you can see where the motor is connected right there. And you can see where I clamped right on. Nice 360 view of it. I want to see what it looks like on this side. Going right up to the motor. There you have it. So you can slide it forward or backward depending on where you're sitting. This motor has to have an extendable tiller so I can get it even more forward, or I can even stand up and use it. Okay, so here we are in my man cave and all the pieces are right here. So it's pretty simple, as you can see, to build this motor mount. Now first of all, how wide do you build it? As wide as the width of your boat, your canoe, or your rowboat, or your sailing boat. Anything that has a gunnel, this is designed to connect to the gunnel. And you don't have to buy any of those expensive gunnel clamps because it clamps, basically clamps just from the thing itself. The wood will clamp to it. So let me show you close up what I have here. This actually is the entire width of the back of my canoe where I put it. This is going to go on top of the gunnel on one side, and this is going to go on top of the gunnel on the other side, right here like that. And this is the actual mount where the motor will connect. This is going to be sitting up like that, and the motor goes right in the water. The handle's over here so I can steer it while I'm sitting in the canoe. I'll actually be facing that way. So we have these bolts to hold it down to put pressure when it's on the gunnels. So what do those bolts connect to? Well, they go underneath here, and I have this piece here that goes on like this. Okay, and I have this piece here that goes on like, get in the hole, right like this. Now you notice over here it's slanted, and over there it's slanted. That's designed so it'll fit underneath the gunnel and go right up against the contour of the canoe. So when it's all put together, okay, this is going to clamp right on there, and I'll show you that later on. It's hard to do that while holding the cell phone. And this one here is the same thing. This will go on here. Okay, let's see if I can get it. Oops. Okay, I was able to get that one a little bit. So that will clamp on in. Now the nice thing about it, let's say I have this one clamped on so it's really tight already. So imagine that one being tight because that's where I want it. Now on this end, let's say I want it back further in the canoe. And as you know, as the canoe goes further back, it goes in. Okay, it goes into a point out in the back. So you're going to want to have that further away from the edge. So you see how I have that with the slots over there? I can adjust it here, or I can bring it way over here. So if I have it towards the middle of the canoe, okay, it comes up further, and this is normally how I put it, right about here, so that way the whole mount is up there. But I could put it even further out if I want, right at the edge. That's if I have a lot of weight in the front, maybe a person has some camping gear. So it works really cool. And it's all made out of just regular, this is like 1x2 stock, and I think this is like probably 1x4. Actually, it was a long, like a 1x10 that I just had leftover pieces. So you can make it as wide as you want. And this piece up here, I would have made it probably with a 2x6, but I didn't have that, so I used, again, that stock, the leftover pieces, and you can see I just laminated 1, 2, 3 pieces together. And so I laminated, first of all, these 2 pieces go right flush down with the top of this piece of wood. And I know there's a lot of jiggling here, but if I bring this in the front a little bit, let's move this over here, you can see the 3rd piece extends down a little bit. See, it's like about a, so what I did when I glued it, these 2 pieces glued right to the top of the cross member, and this piece glued to the back of the cross member. And I put glue all the way in there and all the way in here, and I also screwed all of them together here, and I screwed this one into the cross member. And just to give it added strength, I put one of these L brackets. As you can see, I have 2 L brackets there, and 2 screws in here, 2 screws down there, just to make sure it stays on there really strong. That's not going nowhere, so that way when I have my motor on it, it will be very strong. Then I just rounded out the edges a little bit and covered it with a resin. Now you can see some of the pieces here don't have resin on them yet, because I just added those yesterday, because I had one straight cross member across the bottom for a I guess you could say for a stationary setup, so I had it in one location. But then when I went out the other day with a friend in a canoe, I realized, ooh, I can go back further. And without somebody, when I was just by myself, I realized I could have had it further ahead. So what I did was, the stationary piece that I had, this was 1 piece of wood initially. What I did was, this was all actually connected like this here. It was 1 piece of wood going all the way across, and what I did is I cut it right here in the middle, gave it a little bit of space so I could move it back and forth, and made this slot in the middle. Now this slot is what goes on here. Let me get down here so you can see a little better. I'm going to get in my chair so I can get a little lower. Okay, so you can see the slot. I didn't show you that before. It moves back and forth. See that? There's a slot there. The bolt comes out from the top, and I put that right in here, and that's where I have the adjustment. Let's see. That's where I have the adjustment. I can go all the way left, right, as far as I want. And this just helps to strengthen it. When I put the clamp on and start really tightening it down, this strengthens it so it stays right in place. So there's a whole setup. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you have one like it and you've used it and you enjoy it, let us know a little bit about it, what you did different, because anything you can share will help our viewers. And I'd like to ask you to please subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Have a great day and happy sailing. Bye-bye now.